Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do something different. So I decided to do a tag video. So a couple of days ago, Olivia from the Simple Chic Life did a tag video where she answered 25 questions in 25 minutes. And I just decided to tag myself and do that video. All the questions are fragrance related, so if you are into these kind of videos, please keep on watching. And before we start, if you are new to my channel, hi, welcome, my name is Noura, and on this channel I do mostly fragrance reviews, but also some makeup, skincare, and lifestyle in general. So if you like these kind of contents, then please subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. Now let's get started. I have here's a question. I'm a little bit old-fashioned, so I wrote down the 25 questions. And let's start with the first one. So the first question is, how many perfumes do you have? So actually, before yesterday, I didn't know how many fragrances I own, but I did like a massive declutter yesterday, and I got rid of 27 fragrances. And I was shocked with how many fragrances I actually own. After the declutter, I own 88 fragrances, which is definitely too much for me. I know for some people this is maybe normal, but for me this is definitely not a normal thing. The only justification I give myself is that I am now like creating content on YouTube, and I need these fragrances just for YouTube sake. Second question is your favorite fragrance family. Again, this is a question now I can answer really correctly, because when I did my declutter, I divided my fragrances in declutter, like, and love. And definitely, mostly the fragrances that are in my love category enter in the floral family, or to be more specific, floriental family. So next question is, how many sprays? Before doing YouTube, I would have never imagined that this will be a polarizing question. And also, how many sprays actually some YouTubers do. So I noticed a trend that most of, not all, but most of fragrance YouTubers overspray, and proudly do so. And I have to say, I am not an oversprayer and I'm proud of it. And let me explain why. And let me begin with saying that this is your personal choice, do what you want. This is my personal preference that suits my aesthetic in general. And also we have to keep in mind what kind of fragrance. On average, I would say I spray 5 to 6 sprays. It depends on the perfume. For example, if we take a very beast mode fragrance like, I don't know, Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal by Night, Black Orchid from Tom Ford, or Oud for Greatness from Initial Parfum, I would spray maximum 2 and not more. Of course, some people will be like, what? You spray only twice? Yes, I only spray twice when it comes to beast mode fragrances, because I don't care about sillage. I spray for myself and I don't care about other people. I care that I don't offend people. So I want to be able to smell myself, and people who are close to me also to smell my fragrance. But I'm not into like announcing my arrival in a room by my smell, by people smelling my fragrance even before they see my face, if you know what I mean. And to be completely honest, with some of these fragrances, I find it a little bit disrespectful to people, because from my personal experience, sometimes, especially in closed doors environment, or for example on the train, in the subway, on the bus, people sometimes overspray. And I remember once, I don't know what fragrance that was, but someone oversprayed, and I actually felt nauseous. I really felt sick. The other reason for me not to overspray, because I want to keep my nose a little bit sensitive. I want to smell even weak fragrances. I want to actually enjoy smells that are not fragrances in general. Sometimes I actually take a break and don't put any perfumes at all. Just I don't know, it's not a scientific thing, but it's like, as I said, it's a personal thing, just to clean my nose. So I will be able to smell nature, to smell other stuff. This is just my personal point of view. That said, I sometimes spray up to 15 times when it comes to really, really weak fragrances, like for example, some Zara fragrances. But yeah, on average, I would say I spray 5 to 6 times. Okay, I already took too long on this question, so I will try to speed up. Where do you spray? Depends on the perfume, how many sprays. So I begin with my wrists, then behind my ears, and then here along my arm, because I like when I move my head like right and left to smell the fragrance. And if it's a very fresh fragrance, I would spray also on my clothes or décolleté here. Next question is favorite perfume of all time. This is a no-brainer for me. It's this fragrance. It looks really battered, and for a good reason. This is my first perfume I ever got. This is Chanel Coco, the original one. The one that is now in the stores is a reformulated one. I have this fragrance now for 25 years. Of course, it turned bad, but so if I have to choose, it will be like the vintage version, not the new version. But since it's reformulated, I would go with Vert Malachite from Armani Privé. And this is a beautiful, dense, creamy, warm, sweet jasmine. Just beautiful. I know everybody talks about Rouge Malachite. For me, it's Vert Malachite. One of the best jasmine and my favorite fragrance of all time. Least favorite perfume of all time. This is very easy. And I know now I will get a lot of dislikes, and maybe people will unsubscribe to my channel, but I will have to go with Alien from Mugler. I really love jasmine, but Alien, I just can't do that fragrance. I tried and tried. It's so bad for me that I have to take it, like to wash my hand to get the scent of my skin. I just can't do that fragrance, and I actually don't understand the hype behind it, but yeah. Next one is, how do you store your fragrances? I have a shelf in my closet where I keep my fragrances, and I definitely have to rearrange my closet to have a better aesthetically pleasing shelf for my fragrances. Why did you get into perfumes? Oh, this will be a long answer. Mainly, a couple of years ago, I found myself in a very dark place, like inner place, like psychologically speaking. I didn't know what I like, what I want in life in general, and I was always into fashion a little bit. So I decided like to take baby steps into like knowing what I want, what I like, what I love, what is my passion in life. And I started by fashion. So I did the KonMari method and decluttered, oh my god, boxes and boxes and boxes, you can't even imagine, of clothes. And then I started to really dive into like the different ways to know your style, etc. And since I choose my fragrance according, of course, occasion, time of the year, my mood, but also my clothes, the vibe I am going for, the style, the color, everything. So as you can see, there is a lot of elements coming into the picture here. So I always search for a fragrance that I didn't have in my collection. So I didn't have a lot of money at the time, so I started to search on YouTube, you know, like best summer fragrances for women, best spring fragrances, etc. These kind of videos. And it really helped me because when I went to the store, I was really overwhelmed with the amount of fragrances that are in the market. So I started to try like the one YouTubers recommended the most, and slowly I started to save money to get some of the fragrances. And then I wanted to buy a fragrance for my husband, so I went into also men fragrances, and since then fragrances became one of my obsessions, and as you can see, it's now the thing I do on YouTube, and I just love it. Next question is, what is the main reason you declutter a perfume? I have two answers. So before YouTube, I would declutter a fragrance if I don't reach for it or I don't like it anymore, and that's it. Or it doesn't spark joy for me. Now I mostly declutter perfumes that, of course, I don't like, or a perfume that I found a better alternative of. So not a dupe, but something very similar, but maybe better longevity, a better quality, this kind of stuff. Which perfume have you totally used up? And shockingly, there is only, I think, 2 fragrances in my whole life that I used up, because there's something in me, even when I was a teenager, when the fragrance, like you see, it's very low and I can buy another one, but I just can't finish the fragrance. I just keep it like that and don't finish it. But I did finish 2 fragrances in my life. The first one was a Zara one. I don't even remember the name because I didn't repurchase it. And my second one is Desigual Fresh. I speak a lot about this fragrance on my channel. This is really a beautiful, fresh, fruity, floral fragrance that I mainly use for after the shower, but I also use it a lot when I just want to lift up my mood. A very happy fragrance, but since it has a very bad longevity, I spray a lot. I lost track of how many bottles I finished of this one. This is the small one, but I have a big one in my bathroom. So yeah, definitely fresh Desigual. Next is, what's your favorite perfume YouTube channels to watch? Oh, there are a lot, but if I have to choose one YouTube channel that I am totally obsessed with, I love Josephine's channel. It's just amazing, and recently I really admire how she is like spicing things up with with the editing. You can see there is a lot of creativity and effort in her videos. She is also very, very knowledgeable. I think she works in the perfume industry. Although we don't share the same taste, but I absolutely adore her channel. Next is your very first perfume you ever bought because of YouTuber. Interesting, yes. That was Yves Saint Laurent Manifesto. This is also my very first blind buy I ever did, and it's and it's a fail, unfortunately. I can't say who did recommend this one in particular, because this is one of the favorite fragrances for so many YouTubers. I remember Yana from The Scented. I think also Paulina Shar also likes this one. So many YouTubers rave about this fragrance, and I have to say I don't like it. It's mainly vanilla, and vanilla is not exactly my favorite note. I am very picky with vanilla fragrances in particular. So yeah, that was a fail for me. Next is, what is your goal for your perfume collection? Personally, I want to arrive to the point where I am satisfied, let's say 90% with my collection. And that means that for 90% of the times that I reach for a fragrance that matches, as I said, my mood, my clothes, the occasion, everything, I find something. That will be my ultimate goal. Most expensive perfume you ever bought? So actually the most expensive perfume I ever bought is on its way, so I don't have it now, but in my current collection, and I'm talking about the price that I paid, not the retail price. This is from Les Exclusives line from Chanel. This is Gardenia. I don't remember exactly how much did I pay for it, but I think this is the most expensive one. And that said, I don't like this fragrance very much. It was more of an impulsive buy. I turned 40 last year, and for my birthday, I just wanted so badly to get a Chanel or like from the exclusive line from Chanel, a fragrance. And yeah, I just bought this one, and yeah, I regret it now. If we talk about retail price, I think the most expensive one in my collection will be Amouage Honor. Best blind buy in recent memory. I don't do a lot of blind buys, but the most successful one that comes to my mind is Orange Sanguine from Atelier Cologne. This one I bought because of demi rolling, because at that time I was really obsessed with citruses, especially blood orange and grapefruit. And she said this is like the most authentic blood orange you can get, and she's definitely right. So that was a very, very successful blind buy for me. Your partner's favorite scent on you? Okay, actually my husband is not like into fragrances. He, even for himself, he's not like into perfumes and this stuff. So I actually have to ask him if he likes the fragrance. I think he only commented twice on a fragrance. The first one I decluttered because I don't like it. It was, I think, called Black XS from Paco Rabanne. It's an old one that I got as a gift and I didn't like it, so I decluttered it. The second one was Valentino Donna Born in Roma. This one he really, really liked on me. Next question is, if you had a signature scent, so I don't have a signature scent, but if I have to choose, it will be, I think, J'adore. And a very close contender will be Gris Dior from the private collection from Christian Dior. I love this fragrance so much. I don't care what people say, it's like old-fashioned, or I don't know what they say. This is a classy, elegant, floral fragrance. It's very versatile. I adore it. J'adore. I adore it. I find it sexy in a very elegant way. It's also very pleasing, so I don't think someone will be like offended smelling it. A very close contender is Gris Dior from La Collection Privée from Christian Dior. This is a total different vibe or fragrance. For me, this is a sheep floral. I know it's not exactly a sheep, but for me, it smells a little bit like a sheep. It's woody. The oak moss, I think there is oak moss. It's very addictive. It's floral. It's elegant. It's classy. It's not offensive. Yeah, I really, really like it. The only reason why I didn't choose this one to J'adore, because this is a recent purchase. I think this will become one of my absolute favorites of all time. Next is dupe houses, yes or no? If we take out Zara, all the dupe houses, or most of the dupe houses that I hear about, are mostly in the US, so Be Layered, these companies. And to be completely honest, I would never go for a dupe. I would save and get the original one and not the dupe. But I think if I am in a very bad economic situation, and even like saving up is not an option for a fragrance, I think I will go for a dupe, but given the choice, I will definitely choose original. Next is, how often do you wear a perfume? I wear 2 to 3 perfumes a day. It depends on my routine. So I usually put a perfume before going to bed, and one after the shower, and another scent of the day. Sometimes it will be more. It depends on the fragrance. It depends on my routine, as I said. So if I shower before going to bed, of course I will use like 1, not 2. So you get the drill here. Last perfume you let go of and why? So as I said, I just made a massive declutter. So there are 27 fragrances. But just to give an example, I decluttered all my Elisa fragrances because I discovered that I don't like orange blossom. It makes me nauseous. It's too sweet. Yeah, I just don't like it. So Elisab uses a lot of orange blossom in his fragrances. A perfume you would most like to buy. Oh, this is very difficult. I have a lot from Memo Paris. I can't choose one, to be honest. So I have Siwa, I have Inlay, I have African Leather, I have Luxor Oud. All four are on my wish list, and I don't know, and I really can't pick between them. Oud for Greatness from Initiu Parfum. Oh my god, is this an amazing, glorious fragrance. It's just, I never smelled something like it. It's absolutely magical. A beast mode. The only thing, it's a little bit leaning masculine, so I'm not really sure about it. I have a decant, so I think I will go through the decant before deciding. Yeah, I think mainly are the Memo Paris fragrances and Oud for Greatness from Initiu Parfum. Perfume, everybody else seems to like that you don't. Oh my god! There are a lot of fragrances on this category. So Alien from Mugler, Mon Guerlain from Guerlain, the original and the intense one. The licorice note I just can't do in that fragrance. I tried and tried and tried, but I never seem to like that fragrance. And the most controversial one that I am going to say will be Baccarat Rouge 540. Now I will really get a lot of hate. It's not that I don't like it, but it's not for me. Let's say it like that. It's not bad. So it's not like Mon Guerlain. So Mon Guerlain and Alien, I can't do. I don't want to own it or wear it, and I don't want to smell it on someone. While if we talk about Baccarat Rouge, I don't mind smelling it on someone, but I would not buy it. And I have quite a lot more fragrances from that category, but I will stop at Baccarat Rouge because enough hate. Because I don't want to like provoke too many people. Next, I have favorite thing about perfume in general. Definitely the ability to lift or to change your mood. There's a lot of things you can do to lift your mood, to change your mood if you are down and you want to feel happy. But for me, perfume is like the easiest, quickest way to change your mood or to lift your mood. Are you a blind buyer or try before you buy? Definitely try before you buy. I never experienced like the adrenaline rush people have with blind buying. I actually get very anxious, and yeah, I don't like blind buying. I only blind buy when I know for some reason I can't test this fragrance out, so I blind buy. Or like during the quarantine, I can't physically go to the store and test fragrances. I experience this adrenaline rush that people talk about when I buy samples. Oh my god. I'm actually waiting for one to arrive today. It's a big, massive one, and I'm really excited, and this is where I experience this like rush for not knowing what will these fragrances smell like. Next is, if you created your own perfume, what would it smell like? What would the notes be? Okay, I never thought about that. I always think about tweaking an existing fragrance. So maybe amping up one note and toning down another, or taking one altogether from a fragrance and putting something else. This I think a lot of, but creating my own fragrance, oh my god, it took a long time to think about my answer. Yeah, definitely a floral fragrance with some fruitiness, but not too much. Something like a little bit like J'adore, but with a fizzy aspect to it. Yeah, this is, I think, that fragrance would represent me. I think. So these are the 25 questions. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumb up. Consider subscribing to my channel. Check Olithia's video in the description down below. And I now just discovered I didn't think who would I tag? Okay, I will definitely tag Amy's Word of Fragrance, and who else? Okay, I will think about it and will tag other YouTubers in the description. Anyway, that is for me today. I hope you enjoyed that video and see you next time. Ciao.